Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. We're going to be talking about Warfronts, and then just, after we talk about how bad Warfronts are, we're going to be going back into this, killing Alliance, the usual. So, the Darkshore Warfront, I'm pretty sure is back up, which means I'm probably going to be live streaming the eventful and super fun and seat-grabbing thrill of a ride that is, like, queuing Warfronts in every max level I have, and then... yeah, that's literally it, but it takes like 10 hours to do. Usually 6 hours, like, actually, but what I'm trying to get at here is that Warfronts, even if you just have one max level, like, I'd figure most people don't like Warfronts, unless you're just crazy and you actually like Warfronts. I don't think I've met one person that's like, oh man, you know what I love the most about, I almost said Legion BFA, Warfronts, man. Everyone loves Warfronts. I feel like it just gets old, especially, doing the same thing over and over again on 13 tunes. Even doing the same Warfront on one tune every, like, month just gets old. And then that just, it's multiplied by the fact that I have 13 max levels. And then soon I'll have even more because of the Alliance Paladin I'm leveling, which if you haven't checked out the series, check that wonderful series out. We just got, previous episode, we got, like, a super geared twink that had 1200 strength procs, which ridiculous. It's kind of crazy. Probably the most twinked guy I've seen in a while. Another thing I don't like about Warfronts is that it's the guaranteed gear. And I saw an equivalent of this drawn, that when you get everything you want, that there is no thrill into, I guess, trying to obtain what you, like, think you can achieve. So with Warfronts, like this... it's like, Warfronts, I'd say, are a bad comparison to this, but, when you do a Warfront, and no matter what, you will get that 400 item level piece, which is most likely an upgrade out of your 385 slots, and no matter what, no matter how hard you try, it is impossible to lose, and you just get everything you want at will, at least in the Warfront. It kind of defeats the purpose. What's the point of doing something if there's just not even a chance of losing? I guess is the thought I have about Warfronts. Because even if you... I don't think it is it even possible to lose a Warfront. I remember they claimed that you could lose on a Wrathy Warfront if you really tried hard enough. If you really tried hard enough to lose, you might lose. But as if everyone's AFK. Even if there's just 5 people AFK, I doubt you're actually going to lose it. And by a show of hands here, or in just the comments, if you actually participate in the Warfronts, I mean, God bless your soul. That is just the most righteous thing I've ever heard of. But ever since, I'd say, the second Warfront I've done, I just have AFK'd in every single one of them. Because what's the point if you can't lose? And if you can't get reported? Like, the biggest strategy in a Warfront is not knowing how to win, but it's knowing how to avoid getting AFK reported and then kicked. At least, in my opinion. And you could say I am contributing to the problem. But I don't really have an argument for that one, to be honest, but other than the fact that the problem is just the design of the Warfront itself. And the fact, I don't know, I don't think anyone is really asking for a Warfront, but we got it anyway. Which is, I don't want to say it's weird, but they just came out of nowhere. And I really expected Warfronts to be PvP Warfronts, the first thing when you think of the expansion battle for Azeroth, and you think of a new I guess, an introduction into the game, or a new thing into the game, that Warfront, in Battle for Azeroth, Horde versus Alliance, Warfront, you'd think it would be Alliance versus Horde, like actual players, especially with the complete drought of PvP content we have in the game, other than Arena, Battlegrounds, and skirmishes, if you even want to count those abominations. Other than that, you'd think you'd get a PvP Warfront. And to be honest, I did for a decent amount of time before the expansion was released, and then I think I did my first Warfront, and I was like, these are people, right? Or I just heard about it. I don't know which one it was, but conclusion, I was disappointed when I found out Warfronts weren't actually people, and they were just NPCs, which I don't want to say could easily be won against, but that's more or less the situation right now. Like, there's no... as I just said, there's no chance of you losing a Warfront, and then you just queue for the Warfront for the gear. That's all you do. And then you do it once, and then you do it once in a month. In the next month. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about Warfronts. I really have... I don't want to have, like, I just don't like them. I just don't like them, but I like them for the free gear that I get. Which is why everyone likes them. If maybe there is like just that one crazy guy out there that's, man, I love the design of all these player versus. It's pretty much just a giant scenario, I guess. And I hate scenarios. I don't know. There's a lot of things. WoW. There's a lot of things I don't like in WoW, and there's a lot of things that I do like. And I'd say the things I do like are PvP, which is why I'm so disappointed with Warfronts, because it had the opportunity to have a 40v40. Or 30v30, or 20v20, even. Like, you could really put how many players you really want in there. Have a large-scale PvP zone, instance, whatever you want to call it, that gives decent rewards, gives decent honor, and then you could actually use your honor for something if you wanted to use it for a certain buff in that Warfront, or if you wanted to use it for WoW. You could put a PvP vendor in a Warfront if you really wanted to. You could literally make Ashran again, which they are in 8.2. But what are you really going to do with Ashran if there's no vendors? Half the point of going into Ashran was so you could farm honor to buy gear from that honor vendor. And now there's none of those around, so they're releasing Ashran for the fun of doing Ashran, which I don't know how to feel about that. I never had fun actually, you know, competing or participating in Ashran, competing, well, like the Olympics. Never had fun in actually doing Ashran. It was more or less just, I'm having fun farming all these honor nodes, which I don't even know what they were. I think they were just chests laying around. There used to be chests that I used to farm in BFA all the time, which would just give me pretty much just a lot of honor. I think about 500 each, and you'd get like 4 of those, and you can buy a piece of gear. So that was the whole incentive to doing Ashran back in the day for me. And now they're introducing it in 8.2 again, and I'll probably make a video talking about all the 8.2 changes and whatnot, and my thoughts on it. So if you guys want to see that, let me know in the description. Also, just let me know what you guys think about Warfronts as well. I mean, I know the majority of the Warcraft players, the Warcraft community, don't really like it. But there could be that one person that just, I like Warfronts because of X reason. And so yeah, let me know what you think of Warfronts, guys. I don't know. They've been out for a while, so I figure your guys' inputs are pretty valid at this point, since it's been out in the game for... I don't even know when the first Warfront came out. I'd say after the first Arathi Warfront came out, I was like, this could be a disaster here. This could be the downfall of WoW. Not actually like what I thought, but I don't know. I don't I don't want to just oversimplify it and be like, wow, God, my health just disappears. It just goes away. I don't want to oversimplify it and be like, I just hate Warfronts because they're too easy to do. They give gear that are always guaranteed, and you only have to do it once. But that's for the most part what it is. So I'm pretty excited for 8.2. I checked the live stream like as soon as it was being broadcasted, as soon as they went into the slides, so I didn't have to watch, you know, the beginning of it. But it looks like not many PvP changes, which, I mean, what the fuck are we really expecting at this point? I don't think there's really going to be any PvP changes other than the introduction of Epic Battlegrounds as old Battlegrounds, or the introduction of old Battlegrounds into Epic Battlegrounds. And what I mean by this is Ashran, obviously, Winter Grasp. What's the other one? Alterac, Strand, not Strand. Strand of the Ancients? No. That one's gone now, which is weird. First Battleground they've really just gotten rid of. Probably because it was so poorly designed. Isle of Conquest, that's the other shit, 40v40 one. Personally, I just don't like the 40v40 Battlegrounds, so, like, it gives me even more of a reason to say, yeah, they're really not putting anything into this patch, because, at least for PvP, and with focus on every patch, I always just focus on PvP, but it seems pretty present that they're just going to introduce Battlegrounds and use that as an excuse to say, oh, what do you mean, here's the PvP content that we're putting out for this patch. I really wish they'd just make something new for PvP and PvE, instead of just doing the same thing with just a different skin on it. So, I'd say scenarios are just Warfronts are just a scenario with a, you know, 40v, not a 40. How many people are in a Warfront? 30? 20? It's either 30, 20, or 40, but it's, for the most part, just a 40-man scenario, which you go into. I mean, the Battlegrounds aren't just 40-man scenarios, those are just big Battlegrounds, but again, putting back into the game, which you can queue into. Get a little bit of damage before the Battleground ends. Just put Blade Flurry on, that's really all we did. Oh shit, are you feral? No, we'll just run away. No one put a dot on me. So yeah, I don't know, just wanted to make this video. Just talking kind of about Warfronts, because they're up again. and I don't think I've really given my thoughts on Warfronts, but if you want the, you know, short description, I don't think they're the best thing to happen to WoW. I think they're nice when it comes to give me that free gear that I can AFK in, but I think that's the only thing it really brings to the table. I think, I don't know, there needs to be a lot of stuff changed for the game to be good again, to be honest. I hate to be the guy to just say that negative stuff, but for the most part, I'd say the majority of the WoW population is just waiting for Classic to come out. And then if Classic sucks, I mean, good luck retaining your player base, please, because you guys might be a little bit fucked.